Pokémon Scarlet and Violet introduced to us 8 new gym leaders, with each of them having a different typing of course. Since you have the option to rematch all of the gym leaders in these games, I thought it would be interesting to look at teams the gym leaders have when you rematch them in the post game and see how these teams would fare up in a competitive environment. Obviously I will be comparing it to competitive singles meta, since the battles themselves are single battles too. Also, to give these teams a fair chance, I will not be including the moves, abilities, terror types, levels and health items that these Pokemon may or may not be using. If you are wondering why, just take a look at this clip.
Yes. Wait, this is all.
Also, something to notice is that the gym leaders have one Pokemon that is different from their typing, except for the normal leader, as in-game they use this Pokemon to specialize to set typing, and the gym leaders only have 5 Pokemon too, so they don't even have a full team. With that being said, let's take a look at the teams of all the gym leaders and how they fare up in a competitive environment. Starting off with the Bug Gym, this leader has a Low Kicks, Fortress, Spidops, Heracross and Ursaring. I really think I could end the video right here. No team can compete against the almighty Spidops, obviously. All jokes aside though, the individual Pokemon on this team are not that bad, but together they make an awful team. Low Kicks can act as a good wall breaker with Tinted Lens and a Choice Band, while Heracross can potentially be a wall breaker with Guts or a late game sweeper with Maxi and Choice Scarf. Fortress is a good hazard support Pokemon that can remove hazards too, which is very important for a team with the majority being bug types and being weak to Stealth Rock of course. And Spidops is a niche sticky web and Spike's lead setter. Ursaring could potentially be a setup sweeper with Eviolite and Swords Dance or Bulk Up. At the end of the day though, bug types are not great, so a full team of bug types will not be good. This team is fairly slow, not that bulky and is not great defensively. You send out one fire type like Volcarona for example, and the whole team is just done. Low Kicks, Fortress and Heracross are good Pokemon on their own, but that's really it. This gym leader is surely not a contender for the best team. Next up is the Grass Gym. The Grass Gym leader has a team consisting of Lilligant, Breloom, Serena, Arboliva and Sudowoodo. The only good Pokemon on this team is Breloom, and Serena is a decent Pokemon too I guess. Breloom is pretty versatile, so it can be a wall breaker with Choice Band or Sword Stance, and it can be used as a Sash Leash with some move Spore. Serena is a good support Pokemon with Rapid Spin and U-Turn, and Lilligant can potentially be a late game sweeper with Quiver Dance. Arboliva can act as a wall breaker with Choice Packs and set up grassy terrain to give its team a boost to their grass attacks and weaken damage for Earthquake from Sudowoodo, which is pretty cool. As I said though, the majority of these Pokemon are garbage, and this team is also very slow and has the same issues as the Bug team. One decently fast fire Pokemon and the team is done for. I would say it's better than the Bug team since it has grassy terrain support and access to sleep moves, but I think they're both bad teams, so that doesn't say much. The Electric Gym is up next, and this team consists of the Pokemon Kilowattrel, Bellibolt, Electrode, Luxray and Mismagius. Notable Pokemon on this team are Kilowattrel, Bellibolt and Mismagius. Kilowattrel is a fairly good wall breaker, especially with Rain Up. Since Electrode is very bad but very fast, it could be used as a support Pokemon with the moves Rain Dance, Light Screen, Thunder Wave, Electric Terrain and Volt Switch. With Rain Dance and Electric Terrain, Pokemon like Kilowattrel and Bellibolt become much better. In the rain, Kilowattrel is very dangerous with 100% accurate Thunders, Hurricanes and a strong coverage move with Weather Ball Water to hit ground types. Ground types are a big problem for electric types, but this team can naturally deal with it pretty well. Kilowattrel is a flying type and Mismagius has the ability Levitate, and Bellibolt can potentially use Terra Water to lose its electric type and use Soak to turn ground types into a water type and hit them with a super effective electric move. Unlike the Bug and Grass team, this team has some good offensive Pokemon, some good defensive Pokemon, and very fast Pokemon that can deal with their weaknesses quite well. Luxray and Electrode are quite bad though, but Luxray has some use as a wall breaker with Guts, or can be defensive support with Intimidate, and Electrode can support the team with moves like Rain Dance, though setting up both Rain Dance and Electric Terrain might be tricky, but I think Rain Dance is enough to make this team work. Mismagius is also a decent wall breaker, does not rely on Rain, so this team could potentially be a contender for the best competitive team so far. The Water Gym is up next, and this team consists of the Pokemon Veluza, Pelipper, Wugtrio, Clawitzer, and Carbonabinable. Yeah, honestly, the only saving grace for this team is Pelipper. Pelipper is not a great Pokemon by any means, but it has the ability Drizzle, so it can instantly set up rain for its entire team and boost their water moves. Veluza might have some potential as a late game sweeper with Fillet Away, while Clawitzer can act as a special wall breaker with Choice Specs. Wugtrio and Crumbable, are very bad, but at least Wugtrio is decently strong and very fast, while Crumbable is very strong but very slow and not that bulky, especially with its defensive profile in ice fighting. This might honestly be the worst rain team I've ever seen. This team has no way of breaking to a bulky water Pokemon like Toxapex or Nodozo, and aside from that, this team gets completely destroyed by Meowscarada and Rotom Wash. Even though water is a great typing and this team has instant rain, this team is still very bad, and right now I cannot say that this is a contender for the best competitive team. The next gym leader is probably the best character in the whole of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, but unfortunately his team might be one of the worst out there. The normal gym leader has the Pokemon Oikolon, Komala, Braviary, the Dunsparce and Staraptor. The only good Pokemon on this team is Staraptor, and that's where it stops. The Dunsparce is bad, Braviary is bad, Oikolon is pure garbage, and Komala is decent at best. Staraptor is a strong wall breaker with Choice Band and the ability Reckless, with moves like Brave Bird, Double Edge and Close Combat to hit Steel and Rock types for super effective damage, which this team otherwise struggles with a lot. Braviary has some defensive utility with Defog and U-Turn, which is nice, while the Dunsparce can be a potential sweeper with Coil or Calm Mind. Komala can provide support as well with Rapid Spin and Wish, and I really don't know what Oikolon does, to be honest. Maybe a defensive Pokemon with Tick Fat, I guess. Overall, the Pokemon on this team are pretty bad, aside from Staraptor, not to mention it has no defensive or offensive power, and it gets absolutely destroyed by everything. Especially by any fighting type that is faster than Staraptor. Yeah, this team has no potential to be good and can honestly be the worst team we have covered yet, but I don't know if you can top the Buck team. The next gym leader is the Ghost Gym, which has the team with the Pokemon Banette, Mimikyu, Spiritomb, Houndstone and Toxtricity. Yeah, this team has a Houndstone. I was looking through the movesets of the other Pokemon for maybe a potential Sandstorm to pair with Houndstone and its Sandrush ability, but there was no one that could learn it, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world though. Choice Scarf Houndstone is still fast enough to outspeed a Pokemon like Meowscarada. Obviously, using the move's last respect to Choice Scarf makes Houndstone an incredibly dangerous late game sweeper that is very difficult to answer defensively and offensively. Threats to this Pokemon are Kingambit, Dragapult and Choice Scarf, Goldengo. Kingambit has Sucker Punch and Dragapult and Goldengo are faster, but there are options to deal with this. Kingambit is very slow, so Banette and Mimikyu can outspeed it and hit it with a Will-O-Wisp to neutralize it. Houndstone also has the ability Fluffy, which doubles its defense stat against contact based moves, so it can easily take any Kingambit hit after a burn, even with a Swords Dance and Max Supreme Overlord stacks. To answer Dragapult and Goldengo, Houndstone could run Terra Normal to make it immune to Shadow Ball, or its team could be built around answering those Pokemon, like special defensive Assault Vest Spiritomb for example. Houndstone is so powerful that it's worth to optimize its team to fully support this Pokemon. Running Shadow Sneak on Banette, Mimikyu and Spiritomb is also a good way to chip down these faster threats. I have not mentioned Toxtricity, but this Pokemon can be dangerous with a Choice Specs. Mimikyu is also a decently good Pokemon with Disguise, but Houndstone is the only saving grace for the team and easily makes it a contender for the best gym leader team. The next gym leader is Psychic, and this team consists of Farigiraf, Gardevoir, Espatra, Glade and Florges. Espatra is really the Pokemon that stands out here. Espatra with the ability Speed Boost and the move Store Power, Dazzling Gleam, Calm Mind and Protect or Roost, and Terra Fairy is a very dangerous sweeper that can sweep any team after just 1 or 2 free turns of setting up. Glade is also a good Pokemon with the ability Sharpness and the moves Sacred Sword, Cycle Cut and Swords Dance or Agility to make this solid wall breaker that can chip down the team for Espatra. The rest of the team is kind of mediocre. Gardevoir is decently strong with choice packs and Florges can potentially be a good special defensive wall against Pokemon like Dragapult and support the team with Wish. Farigiraf can maybe be a backup sweeper with Nasty Plant, Agility, Stored Power and Dazzling Gleam, or it can be a supportive Pokemon with Reflect and Light Screen to make it easier for Espatra to set up a sweep. Overall this team is pretty mediocre, but Espatra is what holds this team together. Even with the team's major weakness to Golden Gonk and Gambit, Espatra can still cheese through and break through its counters when given the opportunity, so this team could be a potential contender. The last gym leader is the Ice type leader with the Pokemon Frostmoth, Beartic, Setitan, Weavile and Altaria. This team is kinda whack too, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a full team of Ice types first of all. The best Pokemon on this team is Weavile, which is not that good these days. It's very fast and strong, but still any decently fast fire type, especially Volcarona or fighting type, will be easily able to sweep this team. This team can have some potential by setting up Snow and giving all of the Pokemon a free defense boost while doubling Beartic's speed with Slush Rush. Even then, most fire types hit on the special side and Beartic is whack anyway. This team is slow, weak, pretty frail, and it's all Ice types. This team might honestly be worse than the Bug team, but I can't say for sure. Frostmoth could potentially pull off something with Quiver Dance and a defense boost from Snow with a Terra type like Water, and Weavile could do some damage too, but that's really it. Definitely not a contender. Alright, so which gym leader has the best team for competitive singles? Overall, I think the Electric team is the best team. Ghost and Psychic are certainly good, but they are heavily dependent on one Pokemon doing all the work, and while these Pokemon are very powerful, it's not very reliable to build your whole team around one Pokemon doing everything. The Electric team has overall individually good Pokemon, aside from Electrode and Luxray. To really get the most out of this team though, I think Rain is necessary. But like I said, Electrode is a useless Pokemon anyway, so you might as well use it as a manual Rain setter. Do you agree with my take on the Electric gym being the best team or gym, whatever, for competitive singles? Let me know in the comments why you agree or disagree. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.